curious just for you, second half you guys started to have you screen a little bit more for Giannis. What do you feel like that can open up?
Just trying to get some different angles for him to attack, so that they're not always seeing the same look. Him coming down to a straight ISO, try to get him to a different spot, different matchup, whatever it is. Just trying to throw some different looks at them to make it not so predictable.
There was something like 13 of 20 from three in the first half of that game. Getting to watch the film, did you feel like a number of those shots were contested in the right way? Like, what did you think of kind of like the overall competitiveness of those shots?
I mean, we definitely competed defensively. I don't think that's a question. A lot of those possessions, they're making 2, 3, 4 drives to get to an open three. So the end result, they're getting to a good shot. But I still think we're scrambling and playing hard defensively. So just got to figure out another way to limit those, keep guys in front.
That was the first time you guys were held under 90 points this season. Kind of what did the Celtics do differently from game one and game two?
They were very active, very physical, limited our threes, made it tough at the rim, threw some different lineups, different matchups at us. So they got a team of good defenders, good physical guys. So they threw some different looks at us. They had a really good defensive game.
From a player's perspective, how do you feel about having this much time off between playoff games? Do you like it, or do you not like it? I mean, it's such a different dynamic from what we went through in the regular season.
Yeah, it feels a little weird, but gives you time to prepare in between games, and it's an early game, so you got a few days to get ready for that too, which is nice.
Is it better or worse coming off the type of game y'all had the other night that you can look and see what went wrong, that type of thing, or does it make a difference?
I don't think it makes a difference. The other team gets the same time to prepare, make whatever changes, keep whatever they want, so it doesn't make a difference.
How do you feel about those early games?
I'm cool with them. I'd rather have a earlier one than like a 8:30 game, so it's good with me.
What's going on behind that black curtain?
Behind the black curtain?
When we walked in there, we couldn't see it either.
Oh, I don't know. Pat, Drew were doing our normal three-point shooting game. I don't know why they separated it today. And then I walked off and got pulled out of the locker room, so I don't have a secret to share with you.
Drew kind of thought you guys were getting to the rim a little bit in game two, but just were missing layups. Kind of what was the combination of some of that interior defense you mentioned and versus just missing them?
Yeah, I mean, Boston does a good job of making it tough, but some of those shots are shots we've seen Giannis make all season, Drew make all season, whoever it is. So, I would expect their defense to still be good, but I would also expect, those guys to finish some of the shots they normally finish. So I think it's a little bit of both.
Going back to what you said, you competed on defense. I know they hit some shot clock beaters.
Yeah.
Is that one of those things where you look at it and is it a tip your cap moment because you defended for essentially an entire shot clock and they just made one? Or how do you kind of view that when they just make it that late in a possession?
Some of it is. Defensively, you're not holding teams to zero, so you just make it as tough as possible. I remember one possession specifically, they made like 4, 5, 6 driving kicks, and then I think it was Jason Tatum got the ball at the top, then hit Al Horford, and Al Horford threw up a layup at the last second. I mean, that defensive possession was great, and it was a great offensive possession. So it's beautiful basketball to watch. Obviously when you're on defense, you wish they wouldn't score, but when you make a team drive and kick that many times and you're scrambling and covering for each other and getting out, running shooters off the line, getting back, like you're making it as tough as possible for them. So sometimes you got to tip your cap and say it's great offense, but at the same time, there's other possessions where you watch and maybe you can limit some of the drives or get out quicker to some of the shooters or get a deflection, make it a little bit tougher.
Grayson, when you're hitting threes, when do you first feel it? Is it pregame warm-ups? Is it literally the first shot that you take in the game? When do you feel like you've got it in your eye?
I have no idea. I don't really have a judge to it. I've had games when warm-ups I couldn't hit a shot and then come out and hit my first 4 in the game. Games in warm-ups where I make everything and miss the first 2 in the game. To me, I'm not like superstitious about I got to make a certain amount of shots and warm-ups or anything. I just shoot. Just shoot.
Practice shots versus.
No, especially not pregame. Like I've had all different sorts of situations pregame where, empty gym. Like all of us shooters we should be making more than we miss, right? You miss 3 in a row right before that buzzer sounds. It's like that's not in the back of my mind. Like, dang, I just missed my last 3 practice shots before the game. Like, doesn't really make a difference.
How
When
different are the
people play-
Celtics with? Oh, go ahead.
When people play you, they worry about Giannis and Brooke protecting the rim, all players, all positions. Does Al Horford do that at all for the Celtics? And the reason I ask is you're kind of young. You maybe don't know the younger Al Horford. He's 35, but he kind of held his own a little bit. Is he a rim protector as well, or a threat when you're making your drives?
Yeah, he can protect. He's physical, so if he's like Robert Williams is coming over weak side, jumping up in the air, getting the ball in flight. Al Horford is physical. He's usually there a little earlier, but he's got long arms. He's a big guy, so he's still a good rim protector. And they're playing both those guys together a lot, and then Grant Williams at the 3, so they have a lot of size out there to protect the rim.
How different are the Celtics with Marcus Smart actually out there on the court?
We talk about them being a great defensive team. Marcus Smart's defensive player of the year, so adding a great defender to a great defensive team makes them tougher.